Hey guys, welcome back to Ridgewood Apiary. I know it's been a long time since I've put out a video, and don't worry, I'm going to explain all of that probably in the next video I do, but today's video is kind of like an impromptu one. I wasn't really planning on doing a video. I just wanted to come out to the bee yard and work. But what we're going to do today is actually set up some hive stands, potentially move the two hives I have out here currently onto those hive stands, and then also set up a swarm trap. This will be the first year that I've actually intentionally tried to catch a swarm, so we'll see how that goes. But for now, let's go ahead and talk about hive stands. In the past, I've used a combination of cinder blocks and 4x4s. Currently, the setup that I have is actually on pallets. Now, pallets are great. You can oftentimes find them for free, but here's the issue with that. I'm 6'2", and I have to bend over or kneel down to work the hives. Don't mind kneeling down, but after a while, that can, the up and down can kind of like really kill my knees a little bit, and bending down just kills my lower back. So I'm going to go back to my cinder block, and instead of 4x4s, this time I'm going to try landscaping timbers, mainly just because they're a little bit cheaper. I think I got my landscaping timbers for about half the price I would get a 4x4. The problem with landscaping timbers that I've found is it's really hard to find like straight flat ones. So I'm over at Lowe's trying to find some straight ones. And I think to find the 8 that I have, and even one of those is not perfect, I had to go through like 20 just to find the closest thing to straight that I could actually, use. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get started, and I'm gonna show you everything that I got. All right, so here's my supplies. I actually have 15 cinder blocks. The 12 bricks are gonna be more for marking hives and keeping the lids down. I'm not using ratchet straps just because that adds up too, and I'm trying to find ways to cut cost anywhere that I can. Here's about half of the landscaping timbers. The rest of them are already out here in the field. And you can see that is my current hive setup. Yeah, they're a little off kilter right now, but that's because I've been trying to slowly rotate this one facing forward. It was facing all the way to the back in these pine trees. You might notice that this is not where my normal bee yard from the past is. That's because I have moved. This is not my land. This is a landowner down the street from me, actually, who was kind enough to let me use his space for bees. And it's actually like a little family compound, which is really cool. But you can see today is March 2nd. It's in the 50s right now, and we have a good bit of activity, at least coming out of the kind of dark blue. Whoop, there we go. This guy right here. Quick story with the peachish orange hive. They had a queen. They made it through the winter, and my first inspection, I'm pretty sure that something happened to her, and I haven't seen her since. So I've just been slowly kind of limping that one along until drones start appearing so I can do a good quality split. They do have a virgin queen in there, but there's not any drone. Well, until yesterday, there weren't any drones for her to mate with. So she's probably going to get squished here soon, and we're going to start the process over again. But the darker hive here is doing great. Made it through the winter, no problem. Overwintered with a lot of bees. But yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at right now. As far as our plans for what this yard is going to look like, the landowner wants to get into beekeeping, which is awesome. More beekeepers we can get, the better. But I'm planning on having approximately 12 of my own hives out here. And then I think he's going to have 2. So I'm just setting up the hive stands for mine. We're going to use these 4x4s here, plus the 3 that are still in the back of my truck. And I'm going to try and fit 3 hives per section. So let's get started with that. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I tried it with just the 2 cinder blocks and then all my posts, but I'm still too tall for that. So we're going to go with 3 cinder blocks, and then our landscaping timbers will run across to about the halfway point within the next cinder blocks. We'll butt up the next set of timbers, and so on and so on and so on. The bees are getting a little bit more active, and I am going to be right in front of them, but they're not really interested in me. I'm not bothering them. They're not bothering me. So we're just gonna kind of keep going until they get a little too interested. And then I do have my suit with me, so if I need to suit up, I can. All right, so there's the new hive stand. Didn't take too long to make. The hardest part was trying to square up the cinder blocks as best as I could. I didn't bring a level out here with me. That was my mistake. I also didn't bring a shovel out here with me. My mistake as well. So you kind of saw me using the cinder block to dig into the earth a little bit, just to try and make it a little bit more, well, we're not really trying to get them level. We want the hives to lean slightly forward. One of the reasons I'm wanting to do that is I'm actually going to start making the move to solid bottom boards, mainly because it's easier for me to make those than it is for me to make the screen bottom boards. So there's no like drainage built into a solid bottom board, so we need everything to kind of lean forward a little bit. One thing I'm seeing that I don't like, and luckily I have some time to fix this, we actually, you can't really see it in the video that well, but from my truck to the right is an incline. So the right section, far right section, is a little bit taller than the left section. Not by much, and it might be okay. We'll play around with it and see what we got and kind of go from there. But I might need to come back out here another day with a shovel and get things set up. But these two hives are getting moved. I was actually getting buzzed a little bit by this one on the left. So we're gonna go ahead and set up those two hives. I think we're gonna move this one right here to that section, and we'll just take the far right one to the second section and just go from there and wait until, you know, the beekeeping season goes into full swing. All right, let's see what we got. Things I learned. The darker hive, this one right here, I need to come back in and just kind of settle those cinder blocks down a little bit because it's a little wobbly on that side. I also might end up just taking those bottom boards and just screwing them directly into the landscaping timbers, just to kind of cut down on how unstable it is, but I think it's going to be fine. They were not super happy with me. Neither hive was. But that's because it is currently, well, you can't tell right now because we're kind of deep into this little meadow right here. So we got a lot of tree coverage. It's very windy here in South Carolina. As a matter of fact, there is, I believe it's still going on, a fire down in Berkeley County on the coast that's just tearing through some forest. So we are under a no burn advisory, which means I'm not even going to attempt to light a smoker just in case. Last thing I want is for, you know, just a single ember to go in those pines back there and just ignite all that pine straw. But speaking of being hot, that hive right there, I can now confirm it is no longer, well, it's queenless. It does not have a queen anymore at all. I'm trying to brick like language system, so flat brick like that, meaning it's queen right, excuse me, and one on its long edge right like that, meaning that it's queenless with eggs. I did find the virgin queen in there. She emerged about a month ago now. So she's not going to make, it's not going to happen. So I did put eggs from hive 1 into hive 2. I found her and well, she's gone. She's gone. But they were not happy with me. As a matter of fact, zoom out a little bit. Got the first sting of the year right there. I knew it was going to happen eventually. I switched to these gloves, which I like, the Apis Tactical gloves. I wish I would have gone with a longer glove though, because there's just, this is a t-shirt, not my suit, but there's just enough room that pops up sometime. And I saw the bee crawl on the black elastic right there. I knew she was upset. I knew what was about to happen. I'm not scared of getting stung, excuse me, but I don't like it. So I saw her, let her do her thing, went ahead and popped her off, scraped out the stinger and kept it moving. But yeah, that's right at the wrist too. So that's gonna be a fun one. We'll see how that goes. But now we are going to hang our hive, our swarm trap. And I'm thinking we're gonna do this tree. I know I was gonna go for that big pine, but there's too many smaller trees in the way. A lot of There's actually a smaller, pine right here that's in the way, and I couldn't back up my truck like this. So I'm going to put it right in that little opening just below this first really big branch, I think. It's about, I don't know, 20 yards away from the hives over here. I didn't bring this up, but like one cool thing about the location of these hives is they are about 2 miles away from my original apiary. So there's a chance, very small chance, but there's a chance that any swarms I catch or any drones that these hives mate with could potentially have like genetics from my original apiary. I'll never know it. It's just a fun fact to like keep in mind. I actually have one queen left from that original apiary, and we'll talk about that in another video. All right, so I have my brace for my swarm trap in the tree. I promised the landowner I wouldn't drill into the tree, so I just used a whole bunch of one ratchet strap and then a nice little L-shape 2x4 with a brace. As far as baiting this thing, I've got 3 more frames I'm going to put in. Highly technical. It is a paper towel with some drops of beeswax, and then you can kind of see it as well. There's some lemongrass oil right here at my thumb. I'm going to place that towards the back. Just for funsies, we are going to, if I could get it open one-handed, this is kind of difficult, add a few more drops of lemongrass. Now insert my frames. Unfortunately, I don't have any drawn deep frames. I'm going to insert these in here. I do have 2 deep frames that were used that had wax moth damage on them that I took out. So hopefully that'll be enough to attract them. And then I'm going to hang it in the tree. Okay, so here she is all rigged up. It's pretty steady, pretty sturdy. Last thing I'm going to do is I got some lemongrass oil on this cotton ball. I'm just going to dab that around the entrance. You can hear the landowner's dogs kind of showing up. They don't like me out here. They don't mind me, but they're just, oh, stranger. Anyway, that's it. Now we just wait. All right, and that's it, guys. Thanks for joining me today. I know, who knows when the next video is coming out. I'm hoping to get something done this week for y'all. Just talking about my plans for this upcoming year and how I'm going to try and get a little bit organized. I'm also trying to make some moves and expansion and whatnot, and I'll talk about that. But yeah, thank y'all so much for tuning in and watching the video. You know the deal. Like, share, subscribe, all those things if you want to. If you don't want to, hey, that's fine. I'm just making this stuff for fun at this point. But yeah, again, appreciate y'all. Have a great day.